Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I'm believing that everything is working. It looks like everything's working. If you can hear me, we're starting in 33 seconds. Let me do a few checks here to make sure that everything is working properly. Make sure my microphone's in the right spot. Good stuff. Sounds like everything is good and we can start in about 15 seconds. I hope you're having a good day today. I hope you're ready for an English lesson about reactions in about 7 seconds, 6 seconds. I better get ready here. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Well, hello everyone and welcome to this English lesson about reactions. In life, you sometimes go and see a show. You sometimes have a conversation and you react. You express how you feel after you see that show or after you have that conversation or after someone tells you something. Human beings often react in different ways. We react in good ways. We react in bad ways. We react in ways that show our emotions. So in this English lesson, I will talk about a lot of the different kinds of reactions you can have. Sometimes you react by saying something. Sometimes you react by doing something. Sometimes you react by simply feeling a certain way after someone says something or after you see something happen. So anyways, once again, welcome to this English lesson about reactions. So I do have to say this. I'm a little nervous doing this lesson because it's really windy outside. We are supposed to have 100-kilometer-an-hour winds today, and they're saying the power might go out at some point. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm a little worried that might happen. I hope it doesn't. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because I forgot to put my wedding ring on this morning. So I usually do that every day. There, it's on. So yes, we're in a winter storm watch. Let me read that to you for a second. Winter storm warning. It says, major windstorm and winter storm expected today with plenty of snow. Travel will be hazardous. Do not go out unless you need to. Gust to 110 kilometers an hour, 15 centimeters of snow. And it's going to flash freeze. What that means is it's above zero right now, but it's going to drop to -9 over the course of an hour later this morning. So it should be interesting to see what happens. Anyways, should I stop babbling on and get started with the lesson just in case the power goes out? Well, we'll see. Let me do an audio check again just to be sure. Excellent. Everything is working. Hey, we are without a moderator today, and I'm not expecting a lot of people at this lesson because it's almost Christmas break, or it is Christmas break for many people in the world who celebrate Christmas. So we might have a smaller group today. That's fine with me. I love doing lessons with all sizes of classes. One thing to note, I am 100% sure that Brent from Speak English with This Guy is doing a lesson right at 9:30. As soon as this one ends, you should head over there. Maybe we'll get Brent to share the link in a little bit so that people know where to go if they have a little bit of extra time. But hey, let's get this lesson started. Let's start talking about reactions. The way people react in this world. So the first one I'm giving is an action. Sometimes when you see something you like in life, you'll give a thumbs up. Now, a lot of people ask me, why do you say thumbs up and not thumb up? This is only one thumb. This is 2 thumbs. So you can give 2 thumbs up. But for some reason, we also say to give a thumbs up. You know, I went and watched John perform at his performance, and he did a great job. I gave him a thumbs up at the end. So you can physically give someone a thumbs up. But as all of you know, you can also give someone a thumbs up on a video. If you look at the bottom of this video, there's a little thumb, and if you click it, you're giving me a thumbs up. A thumbs up always means you like what you've seen, you like what you've heard, you're giving positive feedback to that person. So if you wanted to give me a thumbs up, you could right at the bottom of this video. You can give me a thumbs up. Sometimes when you see something, you are amazed. The reaction you have is that you feel amazement. This happens to me when I see a magician. So here you have a magician and he has pulled a rabbit. He has made a rabbit appear out of a hat. He has pulled a rabbit out of a hat. If I saw this, I would be amazed. The reaction I would have is I would have a feeling of amazement. So when someone does something that is just hard to understand how it happened, sometimes you feel amazed. Sometimes you feel shocked. Generally, when you feel shocked, it's a negative emotion. It's when you find out that something happened, maybe a bad thing, and you don't know what to think and you don't know what to do. Let's say that your brother was on a trip and he got in a car accident. If he called you and said, bro, I got in a car accident. No, he wouldn't say that. He would say, hey, I got in a car accident. I'm fine. You might be shocked. You might be shocked to hear that your brother was in a car accident. So generally, shocked is a negative emotion. It's a feeling of surprise, and it's a feeling sometimes of disbelief. Not sure if you can hear that, but I'm a little shocked right now because the storm has started earlier than expected. Taken aback. When you are taken aback, it means that something has happened that you weren't expecting. Maybe you went to a movie and you thought it was a family movie and it was going to be a funny movie and you and your kids were going to enjoy it. But then you find out it's actually an action movie with lots of violence. You might be taken aback. You were expecting a fun family movie, but instead it was a very scary movie with lots of car chases and lots of fighting and lots of violence. You might be taken aback. So you weren't expecting the movie to be about that, but for some reason it is. And pleased. So pleased is just another way of saying happy. When you are pleased, it means that something has happened that you wanted to have happen. Many people in northern countries are pleased if it snows on Christmas Day. So on Christmas Day, if there is a nice little snowfall, like this lady is very pleased because it's snowing on Christmas Day. Well, I'm assuming it's Christmas Day in this picture. But yes, when you are pleased, it means you are content. It means you are happy. It's always nice to be pleased, I think. Sometimes you can be pleasantly surprised as well. But my reaction to snow on a Christmas day, if I wake up on Christmas Day, my reaction if I saw snow would be to feel pleased or to be pleased. You can say it either way. Now, this is kind of an opposite reaction. When someone is outraged, it means they are very, very angry. Generally, when people react with outrage, when people are outraged, something has happened to make them angry. A lot of times people are outraged at the same time as other people, and you end up with something like this, which is a protest. And I thought it was kind of funny because they just have a sign that says no. So they're outraged, they're annoyed about something. So their reaction to something happening is to feel anger, is to be outraged. So not a nice feeling, but that is how people sometimes react. Sometimes people react by getting offensive. Sometimes you are offended by something someone has done. I've blurred out the word here, but if you were playing this word game and someone used a swear word or a bad word, you might be offended. You might react by being offended. They've done something that has offended you, and so your reaction is to be offended. When you're offended, it means you're annoyed or even a little bit angry at someone for something they did. So maybe someone used a bad word. Maybe someone did something that you don't think is proper, something that you don't think is okay. You might be offended. Another way people are offended is sometimes people will spray graffiti on the walls of buildings and they'll spray bad words and they'll be offended because somebody did that. So I'm just going to go to no display because my electricity the power is flickering here, and I could just hear my UPS, my power supply, just clicked. So let me make sure everything is working. So it looks like everything's working. It looks like I should do this. I don't know if this is the right way to do it. And it looks like Mode Ags is saying I should make sure there's a link in the description to the question form. I think I'm a little distracted. The way I'm reacting to the storm outside is that I'm distracted. So let me get that link in there. And then I think maybe this is what I do to get it to pop up on the screen. We'll see. Yeah, everything's okay, says Harry. That's good to know. Yes, there we go. So if I do exclamation mark link. So thanks, Mode, for reminding me of that. Yeah, so you didn't really see it, but there was like a little flicker. So hopefully we can keep going. Hopefully we could keep this lesson rolling along. Let's see here. Grateful. So when you are grateful, it means you are thankful. It means that someone has done something and it made you happy. Someone did something kind for you. So a good example of this would be this. When I watch a YouTube video that helps me learn to do something, I'm thankful. I am grateful. My reaction to watching the video is to feel grateful. Then usually I give a thumbs up when I am grateful for a video that I have seen. Hey, we're going to do questions for a bit. Let me just double check something. Everyone in the chat says everything seems to be going good. That's good. Everything sounds good, says Brent. Good. Well, hopefully that keeps going because, 100-kilometer-an-hour winds when they start they're very powerful. So let me stop talking and let's get through as much of this lesson as we can. So from Zhao Yu, hello, Bob. I want to ask, what's the difference? We're going to fix it. Difference, CE instead of T, between reaction and feedback. Thanks. Have a good day. A reaction is how you feel. A reaction is something you do. Feedback can be a type of reaction, but feedback is when you say something to help someone. So if you said, I'm going to play a piece of music on the piano. Can you give me some feedback? I'm asking you to listen and then tell me if I did a good job or bad job or what I can do to make it better. So feedback then is a type of reaction. It's when you tell someone how things went. A lot of times people in the comments will give me feedback about how the lesson is going. Mode Ags gave me feedback in the chat saying, hey, the question form is not available. So let's see here. Let's get to the next question. Tryptopal says, what do you do when your kids don't do what you tell them to do? So I've talked about this before. One of the things Jen and I do in order to encourage our kids to behave is we allow them or disallow them from using the internet. So if one of our children wasn't behaving or wouldn't clean their room, we would say, well, you just aren't allowed to use the internet. And that seems to be an effective way to parent these days. Azam says, hi, Teacher Bob. How do you react to inflation news? So the price of everything is going up around the world. Last night, Jen and I were at the mall and we got a piece of pizza and we split it between the two of us. But the one slice of pizza was $6. I think it used to be $3 about 5 or 6 years ago. So certainly the price of things is going up. How do I react? We just try to cook at home as much as we can, drive less, and do all of the things you can do to save money. Let's see here. Renata is here. Hello. First off, I wish you and all your family a wonderful Christmas. Thanks, Renata. I wish you the same. In all honesty, what's your reaction when people speak their non-native language flawlessly by? I think it's really cool. I really enjoy speaking to people. So one of my favorite things to do is to speak French with someone who's also learning French. And the two of us try our best to speak flawlessly. Always a fun time. Let's see here. I'm going to skip let's do this one. So Raxmedov says, hello, Bob. Can you recommend apps to learn and improve our English language? I still like Duolingo. Some people don't like Duolingo, but I still like it. It does keep changing though. So, and thank you for the Christmas wishes. Merry Christmas to you as well. Kania says, what's the difference? I'm excited. I am animated. I would like to express, I am very happy. Thanks, Teacher Bob. So you would say, I'm excited. I am excited to describe yourself. People rarely describe themselves using the word animated. Animated means to be full of energy. And like if someone talks and uses their hands a lot and moves a lot, we would say they're very animated. You would rarely describe yourself as animated, though. You would say, oh, wow, that guy's really animated. And that means, he's full of energy and you can see it. But both would mean, I guess excited means happy. Animated means happy, excited, and moving a lot. That's how I would say it. From Jessica, what is the meaning of anxiety? And I wish you a Merry Christmas. Anxiety is when you are worried, when you are stressed. Stress, I think, is a good way to describe it because I think that word exists in very similar forms around the world. When things aren't going well, you have anxiety. I have a little bit of anxiety right now because I don't want the power to go out while I'm doing this lesson. Should I simulate a power outage? Oh, that's just me. I just turned my light off. The power didn't really go out. Oh, that's really bright. Here, let's get to the next one. So BM, how do you react when your wife slapped you because you don't buy her a new necklace? So this has never happened to me. I think I would be shocked. If you go back in the lesson, you talked about the word shocked. You are shocked when something happens that you weren't expecting. So if this would never happen, but if Jen was to slap me, I would be shocked because I would have trouble believing that it happened. Henry from Taiwan says, hi, Teacher Bob. Take it easy, whether the electricity is stable or not. I will try. Your live show today during the holiday is already amazing enough. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you. You are very, very welcome. Henry, thank you for the Christmas wishes, and I will try to relax. So I didn't plan to react this way, but I don't know if you could hear the clicking. We're certainly experiencing some fun. I'm surprised the lesson's still going, but here we go. Yuri says, hello, sir. What's the difference between gripping versus captivating? They're the same. I believe my question is on topic. Be well, stay hydrated. When something is gripping, when something is captivating, you are reacting to it by staying focused. You are very, very interested in watching it or participating in it. So I would say last week, the World Cup final was very captivating. It was very gripping. So my reaction to it was to watch intently. I was very, very focused. Max, have you ever been outraged at your students? No, I've gotten annoyed with students, but I can't say, I don't get angry very easily at work. I get angry with myself sometimes, but not with students. But I'm stern. I speak very clearly and directly. If you want to hear my teacher voice, I would say something like this, like, hey, you two, enough. Sit down. We're going to talk about this. That is not appropriate behavior. That didn't sound too angry, did it? That's the teacher voice. If students were doing something they weren't supposed to, you can hear how I spoke very clearly. I think forcefully would be a good word to describe it. Let's see here. Next question I'm going to skip. Sophia, hello, dear Teacher Bob. I'm grateful for your amazing lessons and I wish you Merry Christmas. Thanks a lot for your great work. You're welcome. And thanks for hanging out the Friday before Christmas weekend. There's 366 people watching. I wasn't expecting that. I thought there would just be a very small group today. So thank you for coming out. That's awesome. Let's see here. I'm going to go one more question. No, we're going to go back to the lesson, I think. Yes, let's do that. Oh, one more question. Leo, how do you react after you knew that pizza cost $6? Does it describe as shocked or surprised? I would say I was surprised. You could use shocked as well. You could say, oh, I got a slice of pizza and it was $6. I was shocked. So my reaction, you could use shocked there for sure. I was shocked at the price. But I would probably just say surprised. I was surprised. Hey, let's get back to the lesson. Here we go. Stunned. So when you are stunned, it means something has happened that you weren't expecting, and you didn't know what to say or what to do. You were almost frozen. You were unable to act. You know, if someone, let's see, if someone did something you weren't expecting, let's say, you know, if my mom used a swear word, I would be stunned. I wouldn't know what to say or what to do. So, you know, there's a swear word in English that starts with F. We call it the F word or the F bomb. If my mom used the F word, I'm not going to spell it, but I think you know what I mean. I would be stunned. I'd be like, what just happened? I wouldn't know what to say and I wouldn't know what to do because my mom never swears. In my whole life, I have never heard my mom use a swear word. So I would be stunned. That's how I would react. If you are livid, it simply means you are really, really angry. So sometimes, like if my boss had said, you have to drive to work today, even though there's a snowstorm, my colleagues would have been livid because it's dangerous right now to drive. So when you are livid, it simply means you're very, very angry. So if you're very angry, you say mean things sometimes. So if my boss said, everyone come to work now, I don't care that it's snowing, we would be livid. I don't know if I would be. If I had a four-wheel drive vehicle, I would drive today, I think, but I don't. Moved. Now, I think I've talked about this in a previous lesson. Sometimes you react to a piece of art or to something like an orchestra by feeling moved. Your reaction as you sit in the audience and listen to the music is you feel moved. It's deeply emotional. It makes you happy or it makes you sad or it makes you experience all different emotions. You are moved. So when you say that you feel moved or you felt moved, it means you experienced a lot of emotions when experiencing something very cultural like music or art. And then you can also use it as moving, right? It was a moving experience. Grossed out. So when I see something like this, I'm grossed out. Grossed out is an interesting English phrase that means to feel disgusted or sickened a little bit or annoyed. It's all of those things together. When I open the milk up and smell it, if the milk has gone bad, I'm grossed out because it just smells horrible. When I see a pile of garbage and it stinks and it's just not nice, I'm grossed out. So one of the ways you react when you see something like this is you just feel grossed out. You're like, oh, I was grossed out the other day. I was carrying the garbage to the road and the bag ripped open and stuff fell out on my good clothes and it stank. I was grossed out. Fired up. When you are fired up, when you are playing a game or a sport, you want to be fired up when you start. Sometimes players get into a huddle, and in the huddle, they try to get each other excited for the game. They try to get fired up. One of the ways you react when someone scores against you is you might be fired up. You might have new energy and a desire to play really, really well. You get fired up. So that is definitely something that means to be excited, to have lots of energy, and to try and do well. Delighted. So when you are delighted, You are simply really, really happy. So we have a picture here of a man and a woman, and the woman is expecting a baby. So they are probably delighted. So when you're happy, you're right here. Sad is down here. Delighted is even higher. So if you're delighted, you just feel super happy, super excited. We would often use the word delighted to talk about when people are expecting a baby. They're expecting a baby and they're just delighted. They're super happy. They can't wait. Baffled. So baffled is simply another word for confused. If I was at this stoplight, I would be baffled because I wouldn't know if I can go or if I need to stop. So my reaction would be that I would feel baffled. I'd be like, what's happening here? The one light says green straight ahead, green to the right, and the other light says red. So I would be baffled. I would be confused. It's an exact replacement for the word confused. I was writing a test the other day and I was baffled at question 2. I was writing a test the other day and I was confused about question 2. I see in the chat, Eamon saying, I'm delighted to be here. Thanks, Eamon. Fuming. So fuming is the same as livid and the same as angry or very angry. When you are fuming, you are really, really mad. When I picture someone fuming, when their reaction is to be extremely angry, I always picture smoke coming out of their ears when someone is fuming. Probably because of the French word fumer, possibly, but fuming to me would be someone who is extremely angry. Something has happened and their first reaction is to become very, very angry. They are fuming. After I eat a really good meal, my reaction is usually to feel very satisfied. When I eat a meal, I am satisfied. I have a feeling of fullness and I'm very happy and I am very satisfied. So this will be happening to me a couple of times. It will be happening to me in a couple days. It will also be happening next week when I go to my sister's house. I will feel satisfied. It should be a nice day, I think. Drained. So one of the ways people react to a really long day is they feel drained at the end of the day. So this person has their head down. I feel like their reaction to studying all day, it looks like someone who's in school. Their reaction is that they feel drained. They are exhausted. They are fatigued. They are really, really tired. I'm laughing at Harry 300 saying, I am calling Bob, because people could hear the phone ringing. I guess everything's happening during this lesson today that can distract me. My reaction to the phone ringing was to ignore it, by the way. So I ignored the phone. I'm not feeling drained, but I am feeling a little bit, what would I say, distracted during this lesson. So hopefully you can't tell. Elated. So this would be similar to feeling delighted. When you are elated, it just means you are feeling super, super happy. We often use this to describe how someone reacts to good news, like getting a new job. So if you have a friend who's looking for a job, they might call you and say, I got the job. I got my dream job. I'm elated. So it simply means they are super happy. And they often, when people get a job, when they're looking for a job, they look like this guy, just super, super happy, super, super excited. Now we have upset. When someone says something mean to you or when someone does something mean, you often react by getting upset. That's how we describe it. You can say, I am upset, or you could say, Joe said something mean and now I am upset, or I got upset. But yes, often in life, people say things that are just not very nice, or they do things that aren't nice. And we would describe that reaction as being upset. It's not nice when people are upset. I like it when everyone's happy. So pressured. So this is another feeling This is something that you can feel, and you react when someone tries to get you to do something. Teenagers often react to friends by feeling pressured. When you feel pressured, maybe someone wants you to smoke cigarettes and you don't want to smoke. Maybe someone wants you to do something illegal. Maybe your friends are like, let's go steal some things from the local store. You might feel pressured. A lot of other people want to do something and you don't want to do it, and they keep trying to get you to do it. So your reaction to that might be that you feel pressured. Sometimes when I am on the internet, I feel pressured to buy things from certain YouTubers. They try to convince you to buy things, and then I feel pressured. I try not to make any of you feel pressured. I try to make you feel welcomed. It's a different feeling. Embarrassed. So when you are embarrassed, it means you just feel like everyone's looking at you, or maybe something happened. So one thing that can make you feel embarrassed is this. I walked around one day at school and my zipper on my pants was down a little bit. In English, we would say your fly is down. And then I realized it about an hour into the day. I hadn't taught any classes yet, but I was embarrassed because my zipper wasn't done up. You might, when you're a kid, be forced to wear clothing that you think looks funny, and you might be embarrassed to go to school. So when I was a kid, my mom bought me some t-shirts that I didn't like. And my reaction was that I didn't want to wear them. I felt embarrassed to wear them. They were actually nice t-shirts now. Don't think it was too big of a deal. Sometimes you react to something by feeling cheated. Okay, when you feel cheated, it means that you were expecting more, or it doesn't necessarily mean someone stole from you. Here's a good example though. I feel like cereal boxes and cracker boxes and cookie boxes are getting smaller, but I'm paying the same amount of money. And when I open the box, there's less in it. So I'm feeling cheated. My reaction when I look in a box of crackers and realize that the box is this big and I paid for this much air and I paid for this many crackers or cookies, I feel cheated. My reaction is I feel like